So you are in real estate and you don't know where the economy is going and you want to ramp up the business knowing that things are really soft or difficult to understand. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how to make your career successful regardless of what the current situation is. I also would like to teach you the mind of a closer. What is it that has to be here as a closer in order for you to be more successful and close more deals this 2024? Today I have Camilo Franco. He's been a top producer in this office for the past 3 years, year after year. And we're going to discuss how to maintain that position considering that the market is not being too friendly to us agents. And obviously now I ask you, what do you want to do? How are we going to be able to upgrade and make more money in what you already have been doing?
Getting to the next level, right? That's what it's all about. I think, since I began here about 3 years ago, I had that really good first year, right? And then it was, the next year was better. And then this third year is way better. So now I'm like, my God, I need to, take that next jump to hit that level. So I'm really excited about the new year. I wanted to ask you, since you've been in the business for a while, what's the routine for success that you would say you've followed throughout the years that has helped you maintain a discipline? I know you're a martial artist, so that has come to help you with some sort of routine. But what's the routine for success that you can, give some pointers and advice to fellow brokers?
Interesting, because obviously now that you said every year has been better for you, we all had that, and then the market changes, right? Economy changes, and now you find yourself saying, hey, things are not flowing the same way. So what am I going to do? How am I going to be able to keep this trend? I guess the best routine, first of all, is get up early in the morning and dedicate yourself that time, whether it's meditating, whether it's that is praying, you go to the gym and invest time with that. You got to drop off your kid, enjoy the time with your child. Talk to the child. Make sure that you enjoy that time for yourself early in the morning. So when you come to work, it's not that guilt that you haven't really done anything for yourself and you came straight to work. I just don't think waking up in the morning and just coming straight to work, I don't see that. I like to go to the gym and spend some time for myself. That has been amazing. And then when you come to work, respect the mornings. Everything in the morning is different. Look at how the water is in the morning on the beach. It's different as it is in the afternoon. The sound waves in the morning is different as the one in the afternoon. There is something unique about the mornings, and that's the time that you do what you have to do. You don't push them for the afternoon, you push them for the morning. So those are very two important routines. And then after, when you want to take the foot off the gas in the afternoon, never forget that you're always in business mode. You're always thinking, you're always trying to look at opportunities. Who are you meeting? Even if you are in a bar or you are doing your sports and your hobbies, always keep your eyes open. So the reality is the key to a good routine is knowing the importance at the times that you have to pay attention, which is your morning routine, your business morning routine, your afternoon, you do what you got to do, but also always be alert. I guess that has been one of the things that I learned throughout the career. When you see a 2008 crash, and then you have 2001 was also a mess for several months after the attack. And no matter what happened in the economy, the economy fluctuates, and you have to always have a same form of behaving in business. And I guess that's how it's worked for me.
Nice. So speaking of the market cycles, because we have good days, we have bad days, rainy days, and sunny days, and it's not easy being in commercial real estate. Sometimes I come to the office and you feel like you haven't done anything, but you've done a lot. So how do you stay hungry?
I come from the down low, I guess. I never want to be where I came from again. So remember where you come from. That's just number one. I remember. I used to wash cars that now I get to drive, I guess. Um, so never forget where you come from. Also, very important is when you do a good deal, when you actually went through, not because you made a lot of money, but a deal that was difficult, a deal that almost no broker would be able to do, give yourself a gift, give yourself something, take a trip, do something. That way you stay hungry because now you want to receive again that gratification, that makes you want to do it again and again. So I never forget where I come from. I never want to be there again. And I give myself a little gift when I do a good deal, a difficult deal. I guess that's how I stay hungry, Camilo.
I know you're karateka, and then you also, came up like you said. You migrated to the U.S. and you did dishwashing, you did car washing for a while.
Why you're reminding me of all the things that I want to forget.
Well, because it's an accumulation of things, right? So, what are some of the things that you've learned from those trades that you've been able to incorporate into the commercial real estate world?
The reason that I am the broker that I am today is for every step of the way I learned. I learned how to deal with people. I learned how to deal with who the boss is at the moment, right? Working hard, the enjoying a good job. You have no idea how happy I was when I detail cars. I moved up from car washer to detailer. The joy that I had when I finished a car and the customer was happy. So you learn to enjoy your labor. And I enjoy my labor when somebody really comes to me and says, I need a space. And I'm not only thinking commission. I'm thinking, how do I make this guy love this deal so we can do another one? Because I'm planning to do this for the next 20 years or 30 years. And I'm already been doing it for 25. So, no, I enjoy the fruits of my labor. And, to say work ethic has been always there. I got fired once, and it changed my life. I thank that person that fired me once. I remember I had 2 jobs. I worked like 16, 17 hours. I was just always tired. And the few hours that I had left to sleep, I really couldn't sleep because the jobs were in between. So I was always tired. So he fired me because I was terrible. And it was horrible. I begged him. I remember saying, please give me another chance. I told him my story and says, I give you another chance if you quit that other job and you focus only on this one.
Basically, go all in.
Go all in.
On his.
So, and he says, and don't come back for 3 days. Go sleep. I tell you what, those 3 days, I think I slept 2 days straight. I came to work. Not only did I excel there, I became the manager, and then I became his competitor, and I opened 3 of those shops. And we're really good friends. He was happy for me. But I remember I got fired from the place that I end up doing that business. So, yeah, you learn a lot if you respect what you do and you love what you do. One day I'm going to talk about that, my whole story about the whole car wash thing and Craig Greenberg. Oh, shout out to him. Good guy.
Dude, I'm a bit scared of what's going on in the market because since I've been here, the market's just been going up, 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 up. But things are changing. What are some indicators that brokers should be looking into so that we can survive this unknown?
I'm a firm believer that you always got to be looking 2-3 moves ahead. Formula One, those drivers are making a left and a right. No, they're in their head. They're on the 5th turn. And when you're playing chess, you see how you got to make moves. When you make a move, you're already making a few moves in your head, right? So in real estate, it has to be the same. I've been talking, sales meeting, guys, this is what's going. Prices are crazy. People don't want to sell. They don't want to sell because they're going to look for something to buy and they can't find it. The market is going to get locked there. And it did. So I'm always looking way ahead, a year ahead, right? So the way I read the market is where it's going. So when people tell me, so what do you think? The thing is very little properties for sale out there. Some of the properties out there for sale are too expensive. Now they're talking about commissions and sellers don't want to pay. So what we need to do is Where is it going to be in the next year or two? And that's how you position yourself to be able to do deals. What is your position of strength? Is knowing where this market is going, not where the market is. We know where the market is. The news tells us interest rate is high. People don't know what to do. They don't know if they should wait. That's what's happening now. I want to know where is it going. And I know where it's going.
So where's it going?
I don't think I want to tell people because then I'll be giving my secret sauce. But where it's going, a year from now, I'm preparing myself because you put that out there. You put that out there with your prospects, and they remember. They will see. I said, Hector was right. Camilo was right. I'm going to call this guy. Because talking about the current market, it makes you the typical agent. You have to be ahead of the game, and you already need to be talking to people about what's going to happen. And I think that's how I read the market, always ahead. The current market, you did what you got. You were supposed to be prepared a year ago, 6 months ago. I guess that's how I stay.
Do you think
ahead.
the upcoming election is going to influence the commercial real estate world? Does it typically slow down on an election year?
Just think about this. You have money, you have capital. You want to make a decision. You want to think about who's going to be the next guy, right? Because you don't know where the economy is going to go right after. That's number one. Number two, maybe you do business with the government. You could be Republican and you can be a Democrat. It doesn't matter what you are, but you do business with the government. Well, you're in an uncertain situation. You don't know what's going to happen. So election year is tough. Well, let's say you are the person that promote your business in media, right? Well, election year, the media gets flooded with political campaigns. Now you can't even market your product because the media is really going into the politics. So now your year is going to slow down because you can't promote your product. So yeah, election year is always a tough year. Something very good about you is the way that you position yourself to control the transaction. So good for you.
There was something that you said about providing service to clients, from back in the day when you were doing the car wash and doing the whole thing. And how do you stay top of mind with clients in such a competitive world? Because, there's a bunch of brokers out there.
Man, do a good job because you want to do a good job. Do a good job because that's just your nature is to excel, to be good at what you do. Love what you do. And don't be pushy because, sometimes you see that a deal is not happening because a lot of the deals are not going to happen. And then you are so pushy that they go out of their way to go for the next broker. Don't be pushy. Hey, no, I'm thinking maybe, hold on, I'm going to think about it. And you know deep down that that's what's going to happen. Always finish that conversation. Always finish that period with no problem. Hey, don't worry about it. We'll do it next time. I'll catch up with you later. We'll touch bases next year. And then just you keep that communication open. It will relieve you from then feeling that you're too much pressure, that you're too hungry, that you're too needy. Don't be needy. You're here to provide a service. And it's just about the attitude. And like I said, you brought it up with the whole detailing. I wasn't doing detailing for him to smile at me or to give me the tip. And they will tip me hard. I mean, back in those days, people will tip nasty. And that was great. But, I didn't do it for that. I actually did it because I wanted to be the best at what I did within my group. I mean, we were like 40 guys out there. I wanted to be the best. And I took pride of it. And guess what? That reflected by them giving me good tips. And when they will come back, it says, I'll wait for him. Then that stays in your mind. It's just provide a good service, Camilo. That's really what it comes down to. Provide a good service and don't be pushy. One thing I want to talk to you about is the way you prospect and cold call in these times, right? Because the uncertainty of how the economy, you had to be in 2008 and 9 when you picked up your phone and you say, hi, my name is Hector Cataño, I'm a commercial broker. There wasn't even I'm sorry, I'm not interested. They will hang up the phone. They will literally hang up the phone. Some people will actually go out of their way to say, how dare you to call me? Have you seen the market? So that taught me something, which is the mindset. The general public panic is important. You have to learn how to read that. So when you are prospecting, just because you had a good year this year, last year, or the next year, that doesn't mean prospecting is always the same. Your prospecting needs to be of a person that doesn't sell, makes phone calls, talks to people, discuss the current economy, tells them, have you seen what's going on? I see you own a building. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. Have you seen that the building close by sold for this and sold for that? I mean, I don't even know what to think anymore. What do you think is going to happen? Is your business growing? Is your business shrinking? Talk to me. That is a different approach in a market that people want to have a conversation with someone smart, someone knowledgeable, and instead of trying to just sell. The whole call, sell is just, it gets old. They want to know someone that is in tune, in touch with economical reality. I think that's the approach that any one of my agents you should take is just have conversations, see where they're at. Maybe in a year from now they want to do a deal because they never felt pressure. They only added value.
I always look for that personal touch in the conversation.
Sure. So Camilo, I want to talk to you about being a closer because I constantly say that. You can have all the pipelines you want, all the deals you want, and all the cold calling you want to do, but you have to close the deals. And that percentage, the greater the percentage, the more of a closer you are. And I pushed that through. So I went out of my way to create this infographic. You guys laughed at the beginning. It took me time because, yes, even the particular location of the brain that I chose is the mind of a closer. I have it here. I'm proud of this thing.
Coyote.
And it even explains what's going on. So why did I choose knowledge to be on top of the brain? I don't think anyone in this business can be considered a professional if it doesn't have market knowledge. What is market knowledge? What's sold? What's for sale? Is that property worth the actual building or is it land value? Sometimes you see transactions you don't understand. That building, that old beat-up building sold for $300 a foot. No, that building was worthless, but the land value was worth the land. So you have to have that market knowledge. It's the only thing that gives you that edge on the next broker. So that's why I say closer, because you can be in real estate, you can be in other type of businesses, you can be selling cell phones. Have the knowledge of your market. And I think that's the priority. That's why it has to be on top. That's how you start. I'm going to be a broker of residential, luxury residential in this particular location. You have to know everything there is to know. Even your competitors, how your competitors present themselves, website, Instagram, everything about it is that market knowledge.
You know what? I still remember the first appointments we went through together that you accompanied me. And speaking about knowledge, I mean, you just tore those appointments in pieces. I was just so impressed with the way you presented the knowledge of the area of the listing appointment we were going to, and how you were able to, paint the picture to the seller and explain to them why we were listing at this price, what we were going to do, and how the market was reacting and how it was their time to sell. And eventually we got the listing signed and we sold the property. But, knowledge is
power.
Is at the forefront. So
Absolutely.
Totally agree with that.
That brings me to attention. Attention. You always have to hear. Look, I talk and I like to control the conversation many times, but I don't know what is it about me that I just transform when I'm in a meeting with somebody. You have to pay attention because they will always tell you what they want. A buyer, a seller, a tenant will always tell you what they want. You just have to ask the right questions. You throw the right question, he'll give you the answer, right? And instead of you going there and selling. So most of the times, or practically all the time, when I go as a listener. But I throw my little bombs of questions to see where he really is at, right? So pay attention. Some of these people, some of these agents out there, they just, I'm going to sell this. I'm going to sell this. Who cares if he didn't buy you, like it happened to me? Give you a perfect example. A client, called me, look, you showed me properties like 3 years ago, and I'm calling you in this ad. I saw you online, and I remember you were really nice. I'm looking for 25,000 square feet. I says, well, I have a 35,000 square feet When I showed it to him, it was too expensive. I had too much office. So I started asking questions. And you know what he really said? His dream was really to get a space that he was getting a good deal. He just wanted a good deal. And I said, look, there's no 25,000 square feet buildings that are a good deal in my market. That I can tell you. But there's a 65,000 square feet. That is a slam dunk. This thing is a gift. Within a week, I was under contract on that building. Every single broker that was working with him couldn't believe it because he wasn't loyal to anyone. He was really looking for 25,000 square feet, but I provided him with a 65,000 square feet slam dunk, and that's what he bought. So, moral of the story, pay attention to your customer needs, and that guy needed a good deal, which brings us to what? Opportunity. Opportunity. I can't stop talking about opportunity. I just can't stop talking about opportunity. Opportunity is whatever you're doing, it's always an opportunity. You own the building. Oh, you rent. Where? But if you know your market, where do you rent? Oh, you're in that office building. Yeah, with the weird shape, with the little parking, with not enough air condition. Because how do you know? Because I know. It's my market. So you always create an opportunities either to make the person. I went to a dentist yesterday, and I could see that she was a co-tenant or subtenant of somebody else. And that mingling didn't look good enough. So I said what I do. And she mentioned, I've been looking for space. I just can't find it. Now, she wants me to find space for her. I went to do my teeth. You always look for opportunities. So the opportunities is always, you're going to get a carton of milk. You're driving somewhere. You're taking your kid to any sports. You're always looking and creating the opportunity. So the opportunities, they're not going to present themselves. Of course they are. They're going to present themselves because you're a hardworking broker. If your habit is to create it, then your opportunities are going to be a lot more, which will allow you at the end to have something more in the pipeline.
I've had a couple deals where I've shown 2,500 square feet, and out of that industrial lease, a $3 million deal came out. I always look for that connection between customers and businesses and see what you can offer as a commercial broker. So I have to agree with you that creating of opportunities, you have to have that in your mindset every morning because you can't just rely on what the market is giving you. You can't just be like, hey, this is available, pick and choose these properties. I remember one time I had a customer come to me and she was literally crying because they did a non-renewal on her space and she was there for over 15 years. And they had a very specific business, and she couldn't leave the zip code because then her licensing was gonna turn into a whole issue, and she had like 21 days to get out and find a new space, and so I had to create an opportunity. Not knowing that I was gonna find the opportunity, I basically told her, let's see what we can come up with, and I went door knocking. Created an opportunity. I talked to a bunch of owners in a specific location and was able to find her, the perfect space that fit her criteria. And within 35 days, we were closing on that property, and her problem was solved. And
nice.
It came out of nowhere.
You have to be determined to do what you do, and says, I want to make this amount of money a year because I already know how to sell. I know what my customer base is. I know how to get to them. Now I need to deal with one fact, which is the tough part, which is the no, the negativism, the rejection.
Yeah, there's a lot of rejection.
There's a lot of
here.
rejection. But one rule that I have for rejection is stop avoiding the no's and embrace the no. Embrace the no in a way, give me 20 no's a day. I want to be rejected 20 times. If I'm not rejected 20 times, I haven't done my job. So now you're seeking for those 20 no's. And guess what you find? You find yourself saying, I didn't get to 20 no's. Somebody said yes. So now tomorrow I got to go look for another 20 no's. So you reverse psychology yourself. I think determination is someone that has priorities straight, knows what you want to do, does what it says he's going to do, and then follows the path, follows the map that you already pre-created, that brings the results. Determination, you need it. And it's in the back of your head. Every time you need it, go reach out to that back of your head, that determination that put you there in the first place. The one that will not let you go back to where you were before.
The reality is there's a lot of no's throughout the day. And if you're not determined to keep going, even if it's a deal that you're working on, and there's so many like humps and speed bumps that you're like, my goodness, if I'm not determined to get this to the closing table, it's not gonna happen.
For sure.
And you're dealing with a lot of different personalities
yeah.
and people. And so, determination is the propeller that keeps things going. So yeah. I see it every day because, deals aren't
Easy. Ain't
easy.
easy. After all I said, I couldn't leave behind instinct. And I like to call it instinct because there's something that we all have. We know when we're going into an alley, we just don't feel good about it. Why? I think, in my case, I believe, God gave us that sensor, that extra third eye. So that's why I call it third eye, call it luck, call it luck, or call it God, that we have this, ability to see things in a spiritual, emotional, mental way. And in business, you have to have that always open. When you're down and you say, no, I'm going to go look for an opportunity, and you go, and today is going to be the day, and you get lucky. Or you're driving and you see an empty building and you say, man, I should call that guy. Don't hesitate. Call the guy. Call it and call it and call it. It's happened to me 10 times that you're driving around and say, man, I got to call this guy. I don't know why. I see it empty. I pass by all the time. He told me no 3 years ago. I should call him. I don't call him. 6 months after, there's a sign on the unit. So you realize, man, I should have listened to my instinct. Man, I should have
It's almost
listened
like
to
the animal factor.
some animal instinct, of course. So that's why I give the spectrum, big spectrum of God, luck, third eye, space, universe, whatever you want to call it. I know what I'm going to call it, but follow that instinct. And that's, to me, these are all the ingredients to become a real closer. And doesn't matter the product you sell and the industry you're in. If you follow those steps, or you separate your brain, which is really what makes us be useful and active, into those sections, I see some bulletproof concept. So
Let's take a look at the poster one more time.
Look at this. Knowledge. Understand your market. It will make you the go-to person. Attention. Buyers and sellers will always tell you what they want. Opportunity. Always create opportunities. It protects you from tough markets. Determination. You will need it for the many obstacles you will face. An instinct, call it God, third eye, universe, or luck. Listen to it. So do what you got to do, and you're going to be better than many others out there. I'm getting ready already for 2024. I hope you do the same, my man.
Thank you.